Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of One Piece a Day. If you haven't already watched it, my first video detailing my sort of journey with One Piece is up and available on the channel right now. I will quickly go over it because this is my second update video and it is a bit delayed from when I originally estimated I'd release these. So anyway, I thought it'd be cool as a bit of a social experiment to finally get into One Piece, to sort of get into it in the most confusing way possible. Which is reading one chapter a day, every day, until I catch up to where the manga is currently. I estimated in the original video it would take about 2.8 years to get up to where it was at that very moment, and it would take 3.2 years to catch up to date properly, assuming that there was a chapter every week. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully within those 3 years, the manga will be close to finishing or actually finish, and then it'll actually be very poetic and kind of miraculous that I caught up in that way, and it'll be really nice. I hope that's how it works out. Anyway, the reason why I did all this stuff was because I felt like I was missing out not reading One Piece and sort of putting it on the back burner constantly because it just never really clicked with me. Things have changed now that I've read I was going to say significant chunk of the manga, but it's not really significant. I've read about 47 chapters as of today. I think it's actually 48 today. And it's March 20th today. I started on February 1st. So it's interesting because the first few arcs of One Piece were aired constantly on TV when I was growing up. It was the 4Kids dub, which which does have a special place in my heart, as goofy and dumb and as censored as it was. But anyway, I did watch the 4Kids dub. I used to see quite a few of the early arcs constantly, so I do have some knowledge of it, as well as like sort of glossed over a lot of things. So after these first 48 chapters, where we are currently is Sanji's recruitment arc, and Don Krieg has just shown up and is causing havoc. So that basically means that Nami's on the crew, Zoro's on the crew, Usopp's on the crew, and Luffy set off on his journey. I know Nami has her own arc coming up very shortly, which is when the series starts actually picking up a lot of steam. But this is where we are currently, and I wanted to give some quick thoughts about how I feel about the franchise starting out. I will say, from this whole One Piece a Day thing, it is annoying ending on a cliffhanger and things like that, and having to force yourself to read bit by bit. It makes some arcs seem very quick, as well as a lot of arcs feel very slow. Good example of this is Usopp's recruitment arc. It felt really fast and really slow at the same time. Even though the plot itself moves quite fast, there were more chapters than I felt there needed to be in that sequence. And I didn't really feel for Usopp as a character. I didn't really feel for him in the anime originally either. Until right at the end of his arc, where I'm pretty sure that was censored in the 4Kids dub as to why Usopp is such a loudmouth and why he sort of cries wolf, but in this case cries pirate, to the townsfolk every day. And it was actually a really touching and emotional moment that I wasn't expecting at all. And that really saved his arc, because the whole Captain Kuro arc wasn't really that great. Surprisingly bloody arc. Actually, the whole manga in general is a lot more violent than I thought it was. Everyone is constantly bleeding or getting cut up. Like in the very first chapter, Luffy as a kid stabs himself under his eye to get a scar. That was interesting. But yeah, so far it is interesting how quickly they can get sort of an emotional attachment to a character through a simple flashback or just a little bit of backstory here or there. Zoro's arc, well, not Zoro's arc, he hasn't really had an arc yet, but Zoro's quick flashback I felt went by too fast. They didn't really get you grounded with that character, and I know that there will be more stuff later, but it felt like he was going to have a development moment but didn't, and I know Nami's going to get hers, Usopp had his, and Luffy's had his, obviously. And it was interesting how quickly they can sort of get you to care about some of these characters. I really like the art style. I wasn't too sold on it. I've never been a big fan of the One Piece art style, but after reading the manga, I actually really like how overly exaggerated everything is because it works perfectly for action sequences. Like, not everyone needs to be consistent 100% of the time. I've been live tweeting every chapter and releasing an image of that chapter with the live tweet. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, check that out. You can see my opinions on that, as well as general thoughts throughout the day if I post anything else, but I will definitely be doing One Piece a day. In the chapter where he fought Captain Kuro, he headbutted him so hard that Kuro's back arced in an incredibly unnatural way. And for this anime and this manga and everything, it works because everything's so exaggerated and over the top. In another series, that guy would have been dead in that one hit. And it's interesting. I'm curious to see how power scaling starts to work, because it is quite clear that anyone that has a fruit has got some sort of like amazing gift above everyone else, and therefore so much stronger. But so far we've only seen Luffy and Buggy, and Buggy's is incredibly powerful, but they found a way around it. But so far every other villain that they've encountered has just been a guy, which made it interesting that like Captain Kuro was so fast and strong and things like that, but he has no gift. So yeah, I'm interested to see how power scaling works as we get on, and I know we'll see a lot more fruit users and things like that as we go on. So yeah, I'm keen to continue One Piece a day as long as it takes, which, 3.2 years. I've already done a month and a half, so 3 years. I am under 1,000 chapters to go, so I guess that's a bit of a milestone. But we'll see how we go. I am keen to continue it. It is interesting that it has gone as long as it has, because it's one of the few big shonen series that has had a clear goal from day one, which is become King of the Pirates. And the world, I know the world is big, but it's also a very finite space. That is a very defined space. You know where you need to go. You need to go to the Grand Line and find the One Piece. But it's interesting to see how that takes shape, because anyone that I talk to says, oh yeah, it makes sense that they haven't found it yet, but viewing it from the outside makes it seem like it's weird that it's taken this long for them to find it and stuff like that. So I'm keen to see how that goes. From what I've heard, the writing style is still amazing and things like that, so it's really, really impressive to keep it up for as many years as they have. So yeah, I'm on board. Few key things about the translation. Some of the translation is a bit iffy, like they'll swap between calling Luffy a rubber man or a gum gum man. Rubber man makes sense because he's made of rubber, or at least his body has traits of rubber, and therefore people can quickly understand that. But sometimes he says, I'm a gum gum man, and everyone's like, oh, he's a gum gum man, as if they'd completely understand that. So that's a bit weird. One of the other things that I don't really like, and I don't know how long it'll continue in this translation of the manga, because I'm reading on the Shonen Jump app, is Zoro's name has been translated to Zolo. And that is really annoying, because I've finally trained myself to call him Zoro, because I used to call him Zolo all the time because of the 4Kids dub. And after training myself all this time, it feels redundant because now I'm reading him as Zolo constantly. So that's annoying. But other than those two things, yeah, everything's going pretty smoothly. So we'll see how it goes. Also, one quick thing that is unrelated to One Piece a day. I wanted to thank everyone for following the channel all this time. It's almost been a year and we've already hit 100 subscribers. So that's great. Thank you so much for sticking around. Hope you've been enjoying my content. Finally, now that I'm at 100 subs, I can finally get a unique URL. Thank goodness. But yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone that's been along with me for this journey. I know I've jumped channels multiple times. I hope this one sticks. And so far, I'm glad that I was able to get 100 subs in the time that it has been. I think it'll be 1 year in July, so that'll be cool. I might do something special there. I do have a lot of different content planned for the year. Hopefully I've got the time to tackle it all. There's a lot of like model kit stuff, a lot of cool figurine reviews and things like that. I really want to tackle garage kits soon. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the content. Please let me know what you'd like to see down in the comments below. Did you want me to do more in-depth things into manga or anime, or more light novel reviews, more manga reviews and things like that? Because I've had that on the back burner lately. There will be a review coming up shortly, depending on when this video comes out. More figurine reviews, more model kit customization things, or little like hints and tips on how to get into model kits, or what sort of like buyer's guides for figurines or buyer's guides for models, like what scale do you consider great figurines. Like good thing would be going through like pop-up parades, prize figures, scales, seeing like what works for who, as well as model kits for Gundam Great, like you do entry grade, HG, RG, whatever. But yeah, do you want to see stuff like that? Please let me know down in the comments below, and thanks again for sticking with me. And hopefully I'll see you all again in the next One Piece update video, which hopefully won't take me a month and a half to make, but also depends on how far through the manga I get, because if nothing happens, there's not a lot to discuss. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!